Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Midefan and welcome to another edition of the Venda Podcast. I'm out here chilling with Given Moleka. Given is going to be our permanent working co-host. Unless if he turn on us like some people we know. So, Chief, are you accepting the position that I'm giving you?
No, I'm really accepting the position.
Yeah, well, so what do you stand by saying no? I thought maybe you're turning it down.
Oh no, I won't turn it down. It's an opportunity.
So yeah, whenever we're shooting the podcast, this is the guy that I will be engaging with, giving the little knowledge that we have about whatever topic that we'll be talking about. So last week we had an interview with Nabon Nese, a really nice interview, got to know where he comes from, how he started and where he's headed. So it was a really, really, really good episode. You can go check it out. It's on our platform. And again, I want to announce a new show that will be on this platform as well. It's called Campus Radio. Campus Radio is basically a platform where students will be, expressing their grievances about whatever that is happening on campus. Because I realize that students only have the SRC to go to, and the SRC sometimes don't respond promptly, or they don't do anything about whatever they've been told. He's a student, or is still a student, or what's happening? We are done.
No, I'm done.
Yeah, you can correct me if I'm wrong when it comes to with what I'm talking about. Because like sometimes students, you go to the SRC, and then the SRC just sit on the matter. But if with this platform, it's going to be public, everyone will know that students have this problem, students have that problem. They've raised it with the SRC, they've raised it with the management. No one is doing anything about that. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. There are a lot of issues that need to be tackled,
So Campus Radio is the platform. We'll be dropping episodes on Thursdays. This coming Thursday, we'll be dropping our first episode of the Campus Radio, and so much has happened. So much has happened in the last 2 weeks. So much has happened to a point where we lost someone who was very well known, who was considered a prominent businessman. People have different ideas about the guy. I don't know him. I've never met him. I used to see him from a distance. And I based on what people were saying about him, I just wish I had the opportunity to talk to him and just hear his side of the story. Because a lot of things were said about the guy. And it's unfortunate because most of the things that were said about him were said in his absence. While he was still alive, people didn't have the courage to say those things. You get me? So the person I'm talking about is Arnold Mundau. He passed away in a car accident. It is reported that he passed away in a car accident. And then his passing just showed the impact that he had. Kala Thando, like from Chakuma to Thando. His passing showed like how impactful he was, how well known he was in the area, just as I mentioned, from Thando, from Chakuma to Thando and beyond. Beyond, we only saw the impact from these two borders because a lot of things were happening at his house. During the morning period, as people were comforting and offering condolences during that week. Apparently, he's the owner of Jerusalem. I don't know if it's a club or it's a tavern or it's a pub by Univen there. What do you consider that thing? It's a club, pub, tavern, or it's a groove place? What do you take on the issue actually? Let's not talk about Jerusalem.
No, I can't classify on that, but we can just say it's more like a club, but it's a place of chilling, more like chilling,
And it goes down there.
Yeah, it goes down. Like for real, there's a lot of excitement when you get inside there. You don't want to go out until.
You feel like you're in Jerusalem, like Jerusalem that we read on the Bible. That's how nice that place is.
Yeah, because you find this there is this other kind of monati. You don't know how to explain it. You know, you feel safe once you are in there. There's no fighting, you know, no killing each other. It's just a place of peace, because all people just want to drink and enjoy.
Have fun.
Yeah, once people starting to fight, it's traumatized people. People now starting getting fury. We cannot drink there in peace because there is this group, there is this who and who do this and do and what.
You know, as we were alluding, like Jerusalem is a place where you would want to go every weekend because of safety.
Yeah.
You meet a lot of people there. There's a lot of students that goes there, by the way.
Too much.
Yeah, so it was alleged. Was it alleged or was it true that he owned the thing? Because I saw a clip where he denounced owning Chisola Chitabi, the security company.
Yes, and I also know that he said it doesn't.
It
It's
doesn't
owned by. But there is this guy who said. Yeah, it's like it's elder brothers. It's
Yes.
the one who owned that. Yeah, and I was owning Taiwan, Nazareth, and Jerusalem.
Jerusalem.
Yes, they recently opened. Is it a tavern or a club?
It's something like Jerusalem, but it's in
Yeah.
Chakuma.
Yes, yes. It's also a place of Nati.
It's a Muri of Munati, that thing. So I believe, based on the two establishments that we just spoke about, he was a person who wanted to see people happy, if I can put it that way. Because if you open like a place like that, you are inviting people to come have fun, forget about the problems and all that.
No, but it's not all about making people happy.
What is
It's
that?
also about making money, feeding your family.
Yes.
It's more like a business.
Yes, about making, like you're making a living out of making people happy.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, but do you think like people while they are drinking they are happy? I mean,
I think so.
does alcohol make people always happy?
Why drink alcohol then if you're not happy?
No, I mean, people drink alcohol because they have a lot of problem and they don't know how to solve it. Some they don't want to face their own problems, because problem can be like a demon sometimes.
True.
And you feel oppressed.
True.
And once you drink, you feel happy for a moment, and once
Yes.
you are no longer drunk.
That's where he comes in. I can have problems.
But
Listen,
you want to say
it's not alcohol value is not a permanent solution to your problems.
Yes.
But for that moment, I don't know how to deal with the problem for that moment.
Yes.
And then you drink alcohol. You forget for that moment. You meet new people. Like talking to someone you don't know, it's very therapeutic. Do you know that?
Yes.
Yes. So he created an establishment where people can meet new people, drink alcohol, get to know new people, and then maybe the person that you just met now can help you solve your problem.
To me, alcohol, and to understand problem, it's
Chief,
in
why are you denouncing alcohol like
No,
that?
I'm not denouncing alcohol. I'm not saying alcohol is a bad thing. It's just that I'm just pissed off of how people, black people, especially more black people, are focusing more in alcohol.
See,
They even get in debt, like they have a lot of debt.
Yeah,
you know, spending money just to buy alcohol and go out freaking out. You know, doing all those crazy stuff outside there. But at the end of the day, during the week, they don't have money for transport from
to go to school.
They don't
Basic
have food.
necessities.
You know, I've seen that. I've seen students suffering in school because of alcohol, because they want to enjoy. Every Friday and Saturday, they will have alcohol, but they don't have food. They'll go around asking food for those adult learners who know how to budget their stuff. You know, the problem is that the majority of people who enjoy alcohol, they don't know how to play around, how to manage their money in a very way, in a manner that it will last them for long period.
For a month.
Yes.
Because we live in a society where we depend on monthly salaries, monthly stipend, and everything.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, and I'm glad you said the majority of people don't know how to. You didn't say everyone, because there are people who drink alcohol, but they don't have those problems.
Yes.
You get my point?
Yes.
So we're still talking about Mr. Arnold Modau, and the other sad thing about his passing is that there were people like who were celebrating his demise. There were people like the day it was announced that he passed away, I saw people on social media celebrating that is gone.
Celebrating in a manner like how like
Like-
people have been touched in a different way, and you can't blame people of how they express how they
You're
feel.
not getting my point. I pass away, and you go on social media that, yeah, it serves you right.
It serves you right. But what I understand from the perspective of my own view, what I understand is that myself, not everyone, not every people will love me, will adore me.
Okay.
Yes, some of the people, once a person is loved by by everyone, just know that that particular person is not doing something right. Because in this world, if you are working in the right path, not each and every person will gonna love you, gonna adore you. There are only the particular people who understand what you are doing and the impact that you are bringing will love you, and they will feel a great loss when you die. People will only react in a different way.
No, like, yo, there was, hey, it was, I don't even know how to put it, man. Like, there were posts trending where people, like, there was even a threads where people were just talking bad things about the guy. Why couldn't you talk those bad things to his face? You wait for his demise, for his passing, and then you come on social media and just express those things? I mean, think of his wife. Think of his children.
People are cowards, you know.
Tree.
People are cowards.
Period.
Yes, and once I can't defeat you, I will just waiting. I will wait for your time to fall. Then I talk bad thing about you. And you know why people talk bad thing about someone while it's no longer around? Because you may find that whatever that I was doing, right, I was protecting other people from being victimized by somebody, which means I'm taking a bread for someone out of his mouth.
True.
So now he's no longer able to victimize because now you have built a wall. So you must understand that if you remember before Jerusalem, there was a lot of crime in Etando.
I was about to talk about
yes,
this. You can.
people who have been mugged, daylight, people who have been killed. Even, you know that park next to Jerusalem, people who have been killed there, who have been victimized there before Jerusalem.
And then Jerusalem came.
Then Jerusalem came.
Everything stopped.
Everything stopped. You understand? So now there are people, because they're no longer doing the crime they used to do there, they hate him for what he did. Now they now understand, now it's our chance, it's our term to do
what he wanted to do.
Yes, if we want to continue with crime, we are going to continue with crime. Without just long, you know, what I understand is that you may celebrate my downfall. Leadership is not something that will say it's a permanent thing. It's a temporal thing. It's power. Power is for temporal. You can't always have power. There are once people who ruled before you. Any position of authority that people have occupied right now, it has been once ruled by other people, and then they fall. That's how power has been transferred to one people to another. It's not all about, yes, it's not a permanent thing, and we must understand. If I rule and I'm ruling in a good manner, just remember that there will be someone who will rule differently
from my manner of dealing.
Yes,
of ruling.
So some other people prefer a harsh way.
Because I remember when you speak about the reduced crime around the streets of Tando, I remember this one time.
You know, like.
I mean, I literally had to walk from. I don't even know why I'm saying this, but I literally had. It was around 7-8. I walked from Redane to Univen, and I got there safely.
Yeah.
Nothing happened to me. No one tried to stop me. Nothing. I was just walking, Jay, freely. But apparently, back then, you wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't. Remember those boys from Manini and Mredani?
Exactly.
Those boys, you won't walk freely at Tando. Even though Where the Rock, you know that place, the Rock,
Yeah.
near the bus rank.
Sure.
You cannot just go there and drink beer and there without any havoc or without any fight. It was impossible. It's either you get mugged, you get stabbed, or they robbed you, or they take everything from you. So that's how the place was. But you can see how once Jerusalem came in, everything just changed dramatically.
And we spoke about the safety in Jerusalem, but people loved the fact that in Jerusalem they were safe because of that guy. He didn't want fights. He didn't want people mugging other people. He didn't want what. And I know someone out there is going to say, why are these guys defending this guy? We're not defending him. As I said in the beginning, I didn't know the guy. I just saw him from a distance, and he never done anything wrong to me. I'm sorry for those who he had done wrong, but from my perspective, that guy was just a guy I saw from a distance, and I will speak for the things that I know about him. So I'm not going to speak about things I don't know, because I stand a chance of incriminating myself now.
It's okay for people to talk of how they feel about the particular person.
Yes,
or
how you
what
feel
they
has
think.
nothing to do with how I feel.
Yes, how you see things. How can you judge me? People will tell me you bad thing about me.
Exactly.
But once you meet me,
Be like,
you find out this is not what I've heard.
Yes.
And if you are biased in terms like you take one side story, you will come to me angry, like you for the first time, without at least sit down with me, analyze my thought, how I talk before you judge me.
Sure.
People just want to judge people. There are a lot of people who want peace. It's just that they don't know. And there are people who get envy when something which is supposed to be done by them is done by other people.
Yeah,
They feel offended. If you are the one who make peace, and I like people to live in peace, but I am failing to do that. Once someone take that position, I feel like I'm offended at some time. That is where the envy start. I come up with a false story, all sort of the thing.
I just saw it because, like, I was watching this other clip where he was explaining why he painted all his cars in camouflage. He basically said that gave a scenario where, let's say he's driving a BMW. He even used a BMW. I'm driving a black BMW, and then there's a store robbed in Tando. This they get robbed with a black BMW. I'm going to be the first suspect. So I had to paint my cars in camouflage so that I can be distinctive. I can be different from everyone else. That's how he explained. And then the person who was interviewing was like, okay, there are rumors that there are people who come to ask to paint their car the same way as yours. Do you allow them or not? He was like, I don't have a problem with that. I don't have much power in terms of allowing people to paint their car in camouflage or not. But the problem comes when if everyone's going to paint their car in camouflage and then the next thing a bank is robbed in a camouflage car, I'm going to be the first suspect, given my history. I was like, damn. So this guy, people just commit crimes and then everyone thinks it was him. Because apparently they even talked about the Facebook page. He was like, I'm not on Facebook. I don't even know how to use Facebook. But there's a page there that it's been running and people think it's him. It's just on Hitabi. And he was like, I don't know anything about this thing. And the profile picture, I even searched that thing. The profile picture is his house with the camouflage roof, his cars, camouflage, everything. Just his house, and he has a beautiful house. He had a beautiful house. Yeah. That house is amazing. That house is amazing. Even Somizi once stepped in, he took pictures with there. Even after, and during that week that he passed away, he posted like, yo, I met this guy this one time. We're talking about doing this and the third. And then now he's no more. He offered condolences to the family. I was like, damn. So let's take this the Somizi scenario. Let's say if the way people who didn't like the guy and just go talk bad about him to Somizi, do you think he would have offered condolences to the family? Do you think he would have stopped by to ask for a mere picture?
You know what I've learned in life, ne? So, people who are more famous, celebrities and all those people, people who have money, they don't go with CSA, they don't go with rumors. They don't give a shit about that. We poor people, we like talking too much. we like talking too much.
And
Because those people, they go with flow in most cases. Don't just come because they heard that you are a criminal and then they take you as such. Right?
then you need to have something. Let's say you need to have proof that I've committed crime.
Do you have something tangible that I am a criminal? Why are you coming with such story? They don't take that shit, those people. You can speak bad about me, and once they meet me, those rich people and celebrity, and you find out they're living with me in peace and harmony.
Yes, they don't have
We poor people, we have a problem. We spend a lot of our time in social media, gallivanting, talking bad about people, as if we are the aspect of their life. We know everything about what they do, what they live.
And it's crazy. We talk about people who are progressing in life.
And they are not accelerating. They are moving forward.
The more you talk about them, the more they move forward.
The more they move forward.
It's more like they used your bad publicity as a motivation to go forward.
Yes, and even bad motivation, you can also make money through that.
Yeah,
when people hate you and they are pushing all your name in all platforms, they can also make money through that.
PR experts always say that there's no bad publicity, man.
Yes.
Any publicity is publicity.
You see?
Any publicity, because if you remember the podcast in Chill, the first time it trended, do you know how many subscribers it got from that publicity?
Yes.
Look at them now.
Yeah.
Because of one stunt, one one thing that was perceived to be bad publicity. Look at where they are right now.
And that's how it's supposed to be. You never stop. People will always talk bad about other people, how they live their life, how they are doing. But it must not be my problem. It's your problem.
Your problem remains your problem.
Yeah, if you feel like what I'm doing is wrong, according to how you observed it, or you hear it from other people, that must not be my concern. If money is keep flowing in my bank and you keep talking shit about me, I don't give a shit.
My life goes on.
My life goes on. I mean, the main purpose of why people living here in life is not to focus on other people's life, how they are living. That is why most of people remain poor. They focus too much on other people's lives. They even fight for them. There are people who can even fight for other celebrity. They can sacrifice their life for that. If you remember by the time of Michael Jackson, people even died, fainted during his time performing what is just getting in the stage because of full of excitement. People, you must understand that if I have chosen to love you, nothing, because it's my heart, nothing is going to change me from loving you. And if I choose hatred, it will be hatred.
And my reason for loving you may not make sense to the next person.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
And like on the day of his burial, it was Saturday, from, let's say, I think from 5 up until 8 to 9. In fact, the entire day, I'm lying. From 8 to, like, I passed there around 7, 8. It was busy. That road was basically not working.
Yeah.
And there were police in every corner. Now, we're talking about the impact the guy had.
Yes.
There were police in every corner. The road, like, this is the main road, by the way. I'm talking about Ponda Maria Road.
Yes, I know that one.
It stopped, literally. Everything was just stopped. Just because it was a funeral service of that guy. And you want to hate such a person. Emana, that guy passed away and he's still in conversation. People are still talking about him. And you'll find that the person who's talking bad about him, that person, if they die today, China, we're going to talk about
nobody's going to talk about
it.
Only family will remember them. You'll find that even the family. You know, one thing I've learned about this life of nowadays, if you don't have a shit, you don't have a cent in your pocket, nobody will give a shit about it.
Don't care about it.
Even the family, the very close people around you, they won't care about that. As long you make money, you want people to understand how you talk, how you do things, have money. Everyone will start understanding your language now. Even though you're speaking shit, things that are out of proportion, people will respect you for that. Why should I waste my time trying to be loved by other family member? That's the thing I've realized, you're just lucky because I was talking with this other guy about this thing already. You know, your family don't give a shit about who you are now. You don't have a cent in your pocket. You can't even buy a loaf of bread. They only give a shit about what will you accumulate in the process while you are living in this world. If you bring a lot of money, they will start understanding you.
And they will give you all the attention you need.
Yes.
But if you don't have... Yo, we live in a sick society, man. That's absurd.
The guy have money and have influence in people. That's what makes people talk about him. People, you know, what I've realized, a lot of support he get, people don't give a shit. A lot of rich people were there. They don't give a shit about what other people are saying. Other people are saying bad about him. They don't give a shit. Now I don't have time to talk about rich people bad about them. Because I know that there is nothing I can do. We got to do what we have to do to survive.
I mean, Masada Marazi was there.
You
know who Masada is.
I know Masada Marazi. Who doesn't know Masada Marazi?
He was there.
He was there. And one of the rich guys. And he's very close to Mam Kize also. You can see the influence.
I heard, Joe. I heard like he was very close to Mam Kize.
You see, the influence the guy have, you can't stop.
Chief, now you're alleging, Chief. And now we don't want allegations.
We don't know about that.
We don't know about that. We're not going to talk about that, Chief. You can come talk for yourself. I heard he was very close to Mam Kize.
They were very close.
So we talk about influence now.
That's an influence now. The guy, even the rich people can recognize him. What if I die now? Who's going to recognize him? That's the question that people need to have. You need to, there is this saying that you need to question everything that you come across in life. Yes, it's a normal thing. If you are going through a rough day, you need to question why these things happen. It's a normal people. But the problem comes when you question too much and you think too much. You are out of proportion now. You are thinking something that doesn't concern the scenario. Like Uri, there is these things happening. The guy, why don't we celebrate that the guy have done a good things and it stopped there?
I heard like he used to at least what I heard, I'm not sure, but I heard he used to like provide for families that didn't have much, the less fortunate. He used to buy them basic things like mugayo, say, or here and there. Yeah. I heard.
No, I've never heard about it, and I will never say much about it. But if he was doing it, it's a good thing. It's a good example of a leadership. A leadership is not someone who has a power or authority to change, to make decisions on behalf of people. A leadership is someone who's always there, making sure that you are safe and you are provided, even though they don't have position of authority somewhere that make them recognized somewhere. But as long as they are always there and sacrificing for you to have something or in the community, that's what I call leadership.
You're a Marxist, man.
Eh?
You're a Marxist. You're a fan of Marxism.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You need to understand that people take leadership and put it in their own understanding. Like it have to be someone have to occupy high position of authority.
No,
it doesn't work like that. And I know people who had nothing, but if you say I don't have this now, they will make a plan.
Now that you're making reference to leadership, do you know who Ntantla Lak is?
No.
That the guy, the leader of Dudula.
Yo. I know that. Yeah, I know that guy. The one who wear camouflage clothes.
That's a leader.
Yeah. That's also a leader. The guy is coming with good strategic things like how we gonna fight things. And whenever people fight about these things of foreigner coming here legally, they tend it to be a xenophobic. That was Minister of what was saying. Was talking about it. And it's very frustrating when we are talking about things that concern us. Our government doesn't want to put us as a citizen first, right? We can't be struggling in our own country. I mean, if you check drugs, most of people who are doing drugs dealing are not the citizen. are not our citizens. It's just that some people, because they are desperate for money, they tend to buy those drugs and be the one who are selling in the
Exactly,
street.
like-
But they are not the manufacturer of that one.
And the reason why those drug dealers are not caught, they have the police in their pockets.
You see? So if we don't stand up, and then the future is for us.
Yes.
And if you yourself today, you don't decide what you want and you don't fight for your children future today. Remember, if I start something today, I must not expect the change
To happen now.
immediately. It can come to 20 years to come. If we start a motion today and say we want to gain economical power, it's not a one-day thing. It's not an overnight thing. It takes years to change. Revolution is take years. Remember when we get freedom, and I'm not talking about we get freedom, but it was not economical freedom. It was,
No, I
we are
see it
still
as a-
slave in other ways, the way I
I say
understand.
it's a freedom of movement.
Yeah, it's a freedom of movement. You don't own land, you don't own something that your forefather owned, something your forefather died fighting for. That's what was Christian saying. If you say you want us to come terms in terms, give us our land back. We don't give a shit.
That's why Kursani was not even part of Codesa, because he told them, like, I'm not going to negotiate. You give me the land,
Yes.
then I move out of your
Ye-
face. You give me what you took from me, then it's okay.
You see, that's how things are. And when you see black people are trying all the way, we are the one who are struggling all over the world. If you check, black skinned people are the one who are suffering. Is it because of our melanin? We were born like that. We can change our melanin. But when we understand, we must understand that that guy, what he's doing now, is for the
Exactly.
safety.
Exactly.
It's for the safety. Just go to Hillbrow and check how Hillbrow
Tlantla
is.
likes is something else, man. Tlantla likes, yo. I watched this interview on the podcast.
Yes,
It was
I saw that. He was talking about Malema also.
yeah,
and
it's like,
say,
I'm gonna give him a hug.
I'm going to give him a hug because I'm not fighting him.
Yeah,
We want
like-
him to understand things in different perspectives.
Yeah, you don't have to fight.
We must not be stupid. We must not be led because of. We must not be the. We must not start the movement of where we talk about. Our focus is all about making money, and we forget things that make money to be there.
And the reason why he doesn't want to involve elderly people in the conversation of revolution,
Yeah.
changing, they won't be there in the future.
Yes,
They're dying. Those
they're
people.
dying, those people. Just okay. Let's talk about the cabinet of ANC.
Yo.
It's full of older people, totally older people. We need fresh blood with fresh mind.
Energy. We need energy.
Energy.
bro.
We have black people who are engaging in such a thing. Black people now, they want land because they
Yeah.
understand farming.
And if there's one thing like what Mtanta Lux is doing and his Dudula operation is not far-fetched from the founding manifesto of the EFF. They all talk about the land, all talk about economic freedom in our lifetime. But the problem is Malema is always bad-mouthing Mtanta Lux. Whereas they're fighting for the same cause. And then he called Mtata Lux a criminal, a bunch of criminals. Whether these guys are helping people. I was not
You
happy
must
with that.
know, you must understand politics is very confusing. And Mtanta is not thinking in the
And
perspective
he's not
of being a
he's not
politician.
He's not a politician.
Yes,
That's one thing I like about him.
Yes.
He's not a politician.
in politics.
Yes.
He doesn't, politics, they are the one who are inserting bad ideas in our mind. They come with these ideas of saying, if they come, because of the influence they have, if they say, like, people who follow Malema under the leadership of Malema, if Malema say, we are going this way, they are not going to think twice.
They don't question.
They don't question. That's why I say, if you are a true leadership, you must question everything. Why are we going there?
What are we going to do there?
What are the benefits of going there? What are the disadvantages of going there? If we find out we are going there just because there is only one person who's going to benefit there, and lots of people are going to lose a lot of things there. Why are we going there?
Then we are fighting for one person. We're no longer
Yes.
fighting for the revolution.
We are no longer fighting for the revolution. That's why we must understand Malema have business around Africa. Even in Nigeria have business. They have business, those politicians. So if you start, foreigner must vacate,
Then you're taking the bread out of their mouth.
they are taking the bread out of their mouth.
And
Well,
they
no,
don't want
they are not. I don't believe in politicians. Politicians will never change this world, this country. Africa doesn't need politicians. It doesn't need greedy leaders. Because once you start an organization and an investor, one who saw investor and started funding your organization, that's where you get a problem, my friend.
Yeah.
That's where you are causing a trouble for yourself.
Whoever funded you is going to control you.
That's the very same thing that's happening under this whole organization. They've been funded behind them. And check those three big organizations, DA, ANC, EFF. Check how they are moving. Even check Action, that one for Herman Mashaba.
That's the cloud.
Soon it will be captured. Even
he's captured already. Where did he get the money to finance that thing?
You see, you must understand.
Where did he get the money to finance that campaign? Where did he get the money? Yes, he's a businessman, but he cannot.
We don't need politicians to change this country.
We need Ntantla Lux.
Yeah, we need people who understand, who feel the pain of the citizen. We need people who are hungry and thirsty for the change. Not those people who go there and stand and mumbling, and after all, they don't do fucking shit, and they don't change any shit. They just let things to be like that. Then, people, when we talk about leadership of that guy, I don't know how, did I pronounce his name?
You can call him Lux.
You
can call him Lux, Ntantla Lux.
Yeah, Lux. That guy, I remember he was interviewed. You saying, I just recently lost my father is it in the morning or what? Yeah, I heard him. But
apparently, so sorry to cut you off. Apparently, his father was a gangster, well-known gangster in Hillbrow, in Vosloorus, that side, the East End. Yeah, you can proceed.
Oh, he was a gangster, and he even knew that.
Everybody knows that. He's you can Google Magasta. He's well-known gangster.
And now he doesn't want to go through that way. He wants to he create his own path.
Exactly.
And he understands that crime has done a lot of damage in this country. And you can become criminal just because you understand that the people who are leading us, they don't no longer focus on us. They're focusing on themselves and their family. And this pastor once he was preaching, said, this leadership put laws that favors their children and their grandchildren.
Exactly.
They will always stay there in the parliament. They won't be out. Even the generation of the generation will always occupy position there because they already have a connection.
I heard, I'm not sure if that rule was passed or not, but I heard in 2024, there's a rule that says you as an individual, you can run for president without being.
It was always been there. Even in America, it was there.
In South Africa, I think I heard it's passed. Now in 2024, it's going to start.
Yes, it was there. It's just that people were not focusing in it. Like even Trump was. Do you know that Trump was contesting as independent there? Yes. In America, in USA.
He has the money.
Yes, he has the money. The problem is that with these things of independent, chances of winning is very low.
Yeah. But I think in South Africa with the...
But still, it doesn't mean or there won't be an organization that is in charge while you are independent well.
Yes.
Trump was the leadership, there was the president.
Now, there's going to be two centers of power now. There's going to be the president of the state and the president of the organization, the ruling party.
Yes.
That's what the problem is going to be. Now, if this person who is elected as an independent becomes the president, we need someone very strong who's not going to be easily influenced by the ruling party. Now, I think Ntantla Lux can take that position. He's young.
If he contests. And the people want him to contest.
Yes, but I'm talking about sometimes, yes, he's smart, he's fighting for a good cause, but I think experience plays a big role. Do you think he can run the country?
No, the only thing you need is mass. That's what I understand. If you want to win the vote, you need mass.
Now if Ntantla Lux run, I can vote for him.
Yeah, you can vote for him. But the only thing, there are people who know how to mobilize the mass. Trust me, I've been doing these things of politics, not even like, I didn't go that much far, but I've engaged with a lot of things and I've seen how positions are being run. You collect the mass, you win. That's how the politics run. There are people who know how to go and collect the mass. You know how to collect the mass. You just buy them streetwise for all of them. You,
And then they
because
go recruit.
yeah, you recruit them, you buy them streetwise for. They will fight for you. Those people. They will chant your name. It's easy because people up there, they are hungry.
Yeah.
They are controlled by what they are feeling inside their stomach. Hunger is what they control about them. That is why people that the stomach of the politics of hunger, is that what they don't want. Once you are hungry, you are easily manipulated.
Yeah, they put your back against the wall. They tell you what
Yes.
to do, and then you just do as they say.
That's what they do. They will promise you all luxury things. That Lux, the guy we're talking about, he came with Operation Dudula. But there is a change that we need to understand. It starts with us. Start with us. It doesn't start with Lux. Lux is just leading. And I was very happy. He was saying, people saying Uri Ntantla, it's a leader of our lifetime. He's going to be a leader. And he's saying, no, I'm not a leader. The leader is yet to come. I'm just creating a path.
Platform
Yes.
where I was like, this guy.
You see, you can understand, Uri. I bet you can feel that I'm not a leadership, but I'm just paving a way for their generation to come. Because the way how you think about now, and now you understand how this world is run in that in your age, you understand that there are certain things that you need to teach the generation to come. You are passing knowledge. That's what people don't want.
Sure.
Passing knowledge from one another to one another. They don't want that.
Socialist.
You must understand that now always you tell people that you can't say you are in charge if you don't have economical power.
No.
You are not in charge.
You
A
have
person who
you have
controls
political power, the
Yes.
freedom of movement, but what is that freedom of movement and political power doing for you?
Nothing. Once you control economy, you control every shit that is going on in this world. Once you have economical power. That is why I tell people, Uri, there are something that must be taught to a student by force. You know, subjects like economics, how economics run, they must be taught. Now I did economy for the first time when I was in university. I thought like, Uri, they are wasting my time. But once I get deep in politics, in economics, I understand that there is a linkage between politics and economics and agriculture and all things that we do. Everything is all about economy. Everything, if you start an invention now, your aim is making money. And money is all about economy.
It's about buying and selling.
Yeah, buying and
Economics
selling.
is a buying and selling.
Yes.
Just that people put complicated words around it and just make it seems like something that's very
Yeah.
fancy. Economics is about buying and selling.
Yeah, it's like other people when they define market. They will want to confuse people. But myself, according to how market is like, it's like myself, I just define it like it's a place where buyer and seller meet.
Simple.
And just define. But they will be confusing
Put
words.
different words,
Yeah.
big English,
That's what you know what I once told people that if you listen to how Trump speak English, how he speak English, you will understand. You don't put that bombastic word that confuse people. Simple English, straightforward English.
Even Tantalax.
Yeah.
Tantalax doesn't use bombastic words. Like, use the most basic English you could ever find anyway. Like, you don't have to intellectualize everything.
People they have that tendency of say they must know that I come from England. I speak that
Nah, come on,
good
you're not
English.
interested.
It's not all about that. It's all about passing information from one point to another point.
If you listen to most of African leaders, they don't like, they speak the most basic English. They don't have the twang. They don't like our leaders. Cyril Ramaphosa, our president, has a twang. He twang when he speaks. The whole president, African president, he twang when he speaks.
You know, if you don't have something to say, you know, Patrick Lumumba, not Patrice Lumumba, Patrick Lumumba, the recent one, the prof.
Yeah.
He once said,
That's a genius.
yeah, if he once said, if he said, I always say, I quote, I always say, if someone spend 1 hour explaining something that he wrote, to him he has done nothing. You can't spend 1 hour explaining something you know, something you have been doing. You say, I have come with an invention, and you spend 1 hour explaining that invention, or more than 1 hour. You have done nothing. You must be able to find a simple way to summarize that shit. So if you don't have something to talk, you want to confuse people. That's how politics is all about. They confuse us. And if we don't stand for our own, you must understand, once people start speaking that bombastic English when they are losing debate, they want you to just say like to lose focus because you don't understand those bombastic words they are talking. But I may give you assurance today. Leadership is not all about how Cyril speak simple English. Listen to Trump. Trump just speaks simple English and everyone loved him. It's not all about the English we portray in the society.
I didn't like Trump, but it's a conversation for another day.
That guy is a leader.
That's why I said it's a conversation for another day.
For 10 years, that Obama has ruled in America. It was all about chaos, war. Regardless of that, which law which affect black people that has passed during his term in America. He was black. Black people voted him, expected a lot of change then. But Trump has passed some law that affect black people. You may see the difference between Trump. And Trump was a peacemaker. Trump, do you know during the Trump term, there was no war?
I knew you were going to bring all those things.
But you must understand the leadership we need. We need people who negotiate. You see?
I hear you, but I hear you. Let's talk about Trump some other time.
Yeah, we will have some other talk. But what I'm saying is that we're trying to justify how good Lux is. He doesn't entertain politics. If you want
That's one thing I like about it. And
yes.
I just wish, hope, and pray that in 2024, but he said he doesn't want to be a leader. I was hoping that he can, No,
you can't guarantee that.
He can run for presidency in 2024 if this rule indeed passed that you can run as an individual.
No, it have to be passed. It's a democracy country.
I heard it's passed. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's already passed because I remember. That is why I'm talking about this thing. Is it 2020 or 2021? It was part between them.
Yes.
Because there was a time where the Constitution Court was talking about.
Yeah, it was. I heard it. Someone who told me that. The Constitutional Court announced that you can run as an
yes, it has been already amended because those who were running for council this year, there was this guy, Baribari, was contesting as independent. So you can tell that the law has already been there.
Okay,
yeah.
Let's hope Nhlanhla likes run for that because Dudula, I see the future with Dudula, I see the future with Nhlanhla. Now that we spoke about the leadership, what's happening in that thing? In Thando. I see soldiers everywhere parading. What's the purpose of that entire operation? If you don't know, you can skip that topic.
To be honest with you, I don't know what they are doing, but for me, I don't understand why they are parading in front of me. There are a lot of things that they have to do. They can go to the border there and make sure that these illegal people don't get here easily. They are just parading here, like you. Why?
Yesterday, I came across, I think, more than 20 tanks coming this side. More than 10 trucks carrying police. There was so many cars, Joe. I was like, what are people doing here? Unless if
it's like the first time I've seen that kind of thing.
But even if it's the first time, if you want to see soldiers, you can go to Vuoni base. There's a military base, then go see soldiers, man. You don't need soldiers in the town. There's a lot that they can attend to, other than being parading, wasting people's time there.
They lack wasting budget money, man. Hey.
Tell me how the amount of petrol that was used to go there.
It's a lot.
There was catering, I'm sure. They must eat.
They must eat.
Where is that money coming from? There's someone who doesn't have food. There's someone it's raining now. There's someone who doesn't have shelter, but they're taking that money just for people to parade there.
Our government is useless, man. I was checking how they spend money. They spend money on militaries. The highest country that spend money on the military is around 249 billion US dollar.
Yeah.
And and that's China. The second one it was USA. It also invests over 100 million billion US dollars and 96 for Russia. There are a lot of investment. They invest a lot of billions in army. And you can tell that our leader are prepared for war all the time. How can he invest billions of billions? If you are saying, Uri, you have United Nations, and all you have to do, you are trying to say, well, let's create peace. And now you are busy building military nuclear weapons and you say you want to create peace. Like, come think of it. These people, they never
wanted peace.
They never wanted peace. And one thing that I've learned, USA will like to manipulate other countries. They like to manipulate other countries. And if we don't see that, the war has been started by USA all the time.
Exactly, and they start a war and then sit back and just watch everything unfold.
And when they destroy. Afghanistan there they spend more 90 what mini lot of money.
So I was
war is expensive. That's why I don't like it, war.
I was so surprised. Like, okay, maybe they're helping people to join the military force, but come on, you can't come with those cars and then just to help people join the military force.
I don't want to entertain that kind of thing because I understand. When South Africa it's rated a third largest military in Africa. If you check, the number one it's Egypt. It's Egypt. It's rate the third best military
in Africa.
In Africa.
I thought it was the first.
No, it was. And I was checking it.
Or maybe back then it was the first.
Yeah,
they are losing it. Like South Africa used to be the powerhouse of Africa economically. They used to be like the number one when it comes to economy.
Number one economy, the richest country. If you are richest, which means economically you are doing good, it's Nigeria.
Yes, like South Africa used to be, but now they're not.
It's not like a second.
I heard like they were even surpassed by Uganda. Is it Uganda? I think Uganda is performing much better than South Africa.
Uganda, the China just take the largest airport there. They do to these things of lending money. We are led by fools. They have resources to make a lot of money, but they are going out lending money. Why don't this come the strategy of mining the resources they have to make a lot of money?
It's the same thing in South Africa. We're talking about it on the
I feel sick, man, every day. It pains me. It pains me. We should have not stopped. Africa, there are countries in desert now. They have food. Here in Africa, they have food. Country like Somali, they live in desert, some of them with the goats. They have food. But you can go in a country like Burundi, Congo. They have a big forest at some point. They have one of the largest rivers.
When are you even going far? Let's talk about South Africa. How many we have less that are not doing nothing here? But there are people who are starving.
There are people who are starving. But we are better, man. Rwanda, even the GDP, it's full of shit. And they are, the one Rwanda, it's not Rwanda, Burundi. Burundi is one of richest with cobalt and all the, cobalt, that one we use for phone, making phone.
I know.
We have a lot of diamonds.
Africa is the richest continent.
But what is the purpose of our country? Our continent is rich, but we don't enjoy our own resources. It's been depleted by greedy people.
Because we allowed these investors to come and say, now you need us. We don't need this focus, man.
Africa, we are good. we can come with our own invention. Because what people, I had other people say, if it was not what people, what
Yeah,
people we need then.
that statement makes me sick every time when I hear it. I was like, I'm like, this people. How can you say?
We are downgrading ourselves. How can we downgrade ourselves like that? We are saying Tina black person was shit
You are incapable. We're not capacitated enough.
to do
What the
good.
hell? Even like it
My
makes
God.
me sick when another person like, yeah, apartheid was better. These people are not doing it. It was like,
My God.
what are you saying, man?
We need to
you must
start.
be ashamed of yourself. How?
We need to start our people. We need to start teaching our people the importance of our resources and how to make a living out of it. We can't be always ruled.
You know, the conversation that you want to get to is a very important conversation. And with the current leadership, I don't think we will survive. Because those guys are in the pockets of the so-called investors. The so-called investors, I'm talking about your Anglo-American. Do you know that Sibanye Gold is not owned by black people, but it's called Sibanye Gold? We have mining companies like Glencore. Talking about the biggest mining companies in this country that are taking our minerals and they take it to the foreign country, it get processed there, and then they bring it back here, and then it's expensive. Whereas it comes
It's
from
4 times now. Like yeah, they shipped it in a very cheap, like.
And apparently our president is a shareholder in Glencore. That Shanduka Foundation is a shareholder of, and he's the trustee of Shanduka. What.
We are led by fools. I always stay alone. Our people, black people, are not supposed to suffer, and they are getting used to their own salvation, and they think like they are born to be like that.
No,
That's
no,
what
I'm
makes
not
me
born to be
mad
poor.
sometimes. That make me mad. We are in the country where a lot of people who lack farming should have been given land to farm. How can we depend on other country for food? If there are people who learn about agriculture now, they will tell you about opportunity which come with agriculture.
How
but
many,
if
like, I'll make reference to Univen. How many graduates does Univen produce yearly of in the School of Agriculture?
1,000, man.
Where
1,000.
are they now? They are looking for jobs.
1,000.
Why would they look for jobs whereas they have the knowledge, the capacity?
They don't have land.
The resources.
They don't have support. You know, country like
That's what I'm getting at. The government needs to give people support. We need the land. In Tanta Alex is talking about the same thing. Julius Malem is talking about the same, but no one listens to them.
Malem is a clown, man. Now I don't like the guy sometimes. He's a clown. I used to like him, and I understand when he talk about land. But I understand sometimes he's like a chameleon. You don't know what he represents. The
Listen,
late.
I hear you. He likes dashing and diving in most cases, but when he speaks about the land, I think that's one thing he has been consistent on for the very.
He's no longer speaking about land too much like he used to do before.
But on the AfriForum call where they were questioning, like he brought the land into the
But that thing where people just wanna try to get other people, he will never speak about land again like he used to do. The issue of land, it was a song to him in the parliament during his Duma time. He sing that song. It was a song. Why now not singing it like he used to do before? But nothing is changing.
Yeah, nothing has changed.
You know, we have to stop talking and do action. That's one thing pissed me off. There's the very same thing that Patrick Lumumba talk about. Uri, you can spend maybe years doing the same thing, and you come here, you start talking about how good things you have done. Where are the results? Let the results talk for themselves.
True.
Indeed, black people are getting land.
I will not get in land. Some of us will need land. Now I need land, Joe. I need land. I need to start farming, Joe. Now we need land. We need land as black people.
We, you know, one thing is paying me. You know, this chicken we are eating. This chicken we are eating.
Imported from
Their parental stock. It's been imported to America. Once America say, oh, I'm no longer supplying a parental stock for you, we're going to starve.
But do we really have to starve? How many poultry farmers do we have?
We have poultry farmers, but they depend in hatcheries, a company which produce chicks for them. You know, in China,
No, I think like people now are starting to be conscious about how these things works. I know like a black guy, Dagaron Mongad, he does those things of HR. I don't know much about this.
He does HR, but he's using parental stock, which is important from
What is
America. Parental stock is something like, what can you mean? Something that produces fertile eggs so that they can be.
No, he has like those chickens that produce egg and then he does HR. He has everything.
Ask him where did he get that chicks, that parental stock that is producing that eggs. He will tell him.
He grows them, chief.
Yes, they come from USA. you know this strain like Cobb, Alpha, Ross, they come from there.
So they don't.
Abacris, they come from
they're not
there.
indigenous. That thing.
No, they are not indigenous. It's not. If you check, it's a broiler chicken with white feathers, right?
Yes.
Yes. Nothing is producing from himself.
No. The one that produces eggs is not that.
Yeah, that one. But people don't prefer it a lot because it's hard, that one.
You're not understanding what I'm saying, man. He like and then he hatches those things and then he sells those broilers. He sells those kukwanas.
Those chicks, or he sells the chicks.
Yeah.
No, but what do you understand? We don't own a shit, even those in the cat company of
No, what I'm trying to say is that there are people now who are like
getting in farming.
Yes.
But I'm talking you about the parental stock.
Okay.
The one that produce those chicks that remember, this is how the pattern is start. You have a parental stock that produce chicks, right? We're talking about the egg production now. Those chicks, when they grow up, they start producing eggs. Those eggs that they're producing, they are no longer going to hatch. That's the eggs that you are eating these days. So the process is end. The cycle is end because it's genetically modified.
Okay.
You see, the process doesn't continue after, there's egg this is for eating. And it's the very same things in the broilers for the chicken that we use for meat. There's a parental stock which is producing broiler chickens for meat. They're producing eggs, fertile eggs, which produce broiler chickens, and right? For meat purpose. Then once we produce those broiler chicken for meat purpose, even though you make them, they are not going to produce anything. They are not going to mate. They are infertile because they are genetically made
For food.
For food, for meat. So that cycle, it's end sometimes. It doesn't continually.
Oh, what you are saying is that we need to have our own parental what?
Yes, we need to start our own things.
How do we do that?
We need, there's breeding. If we talk about poultry things, poultry farming, breeding plays a big role. We need to play around with other breed like what have been done with this Bonsmara things.
Hey, I want to start agriculture, we won't finish.
No, I'm just giving you an example, Uri. What they did, like there was a mixture of the breed from Europe and the breed from here, a short horn. They are breed. And if you can see Bonsmara now, it's grow. It's for this purpose was for meat. It's like this. It can grow from this side. It's a big cow.
Sure.
It's a big. You can even get scared if you see it. If it is well fed.
And it looks like it's lazy. It moves slowly.
It's very big, man. It can feed the entire village. One of it, the entire village of Maredani can be fed by that. What I'm saying is that when we're engaging in agricultural, we must allow a research place to be there. Government must fund those people who are doing research. That must be a must. They must fund them. So that you cannot say people are starting venturing in agri. They don't have a research place where the research. It's like in medication. You don't have a place where you can do research about medication. You see, we need that. Everything starts with research and then we can approve that. That's what a foreign country are doing. They fund people who are doing research. Companies, they have, even government was supposed to have its own lab which deal with agricultural things, its own lab which deal about medication things, its own lab that research that has been done with these things of engineering. It's supposed to be like that. Our government needs to start spending money on research. Research is not a waste.
True.
Research is not a waste. So you know what our government want to do. The foreign country are doing their own research. They start to disperse here. When they come, that research is
And then,
coming
like,
this side.
we need to understand that a research that was done in Europe cannot yield the same results as it did if it is implemented in this side, because the environment is different there.
Yes.
People are different there. The economy is different that side.
The food they eat, sometimes it's
Different. So if we do our own researches here, it will be based on the data that we collected ourselves.
Yes, and then continually poultry chicken, it come to the point that we need to spend too much money in things that can control temperature to be more efficiently to suit, broilers that don't like that too much heat, too much cold. They need to moderate. So you can understand that if there is a need once the research is been published, and then they say that this is no longer a hypothesis, it's a theory, it has been proven, and it can be used by other people. Now we African people, we need to spend money on teaching our people on how to adapt on that particular thing. You see that
learning is an ongoing process.
It's an ongoing.
You never stop learning.
That is why I'm saying Africa must start investing on research. That's stop. This cradle of humankind where we learn in life science. It was done by what people? They come here and name. Look how we're stupid. They came here and name all those ancient things they found here in their own language there. You see now?
Now the last one that was found was called what? Was it Down Child?
Yeah, it was found in human of cradle count in is it Free State or
Northwest.
What? Northwest, yes, Northwest.
I used to know those things all by head.
But the very painful part, European people there, they've been founded by European people to come to do research here in Africa. They're the one who come that human was these things, life started in Africa. They come with all those theories, but we are here.
Well, let's call it. Let's call it.
This is what we must talk about it. It's always pissed me off. I always worried.
We rely too much on white people to do this for us.
When you go to
the sad part is that they only do things that are progressive.
Yes.
You will never find a white man wearing water boots and overalls like weeding.
They don't do that.
Or spraying a pesticide.
One thing I've learned, I've heard these rumors for when you go to Israel, you don't teach them how to read the Bible. You don't teach them the Bible. They teach you. Why? How can you teach me something?
You come from wherever you come from. You want to teach me in my own land.
With my own religion.
Don't come.
That's what I'm talking about. How can someone teach us? If you check the whole scenario of evolution, it's Africa.
It's Africa.
Evolution is talk about Africa. How can a European person tell us about how we live our life?
When you speak about evolution, there's Charles Darwin and Lamarck. They're white.
They're
the one who done the research about that thing of evolution.
You see? That's what pains me. We need to understand that we are not stupid like that, the way we fail to understand our own ways of doing things, our own beliefs here. We've changed a lot of things, and which is, I don't want to talk about it, because we are led by people are afraid. Even our leaders are afraid.
They're scared. Those ones, they're clowns.
Check those old people who started to speak out. They are no more. But we must not be afraid of saying same thing, because we will all die at some point. It doesn't matter how we die.
How did we get here, Konje?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ngamori, you must be a leader who is willing to say whatever you want.
Don't be scared. Say the truth as it is. Don't mince it.
Yes.
Okay, let's call it a day. The man behind the camera is complaining.
Yeah.
So
we've been discussing for a long.
Yeah. Let's stop our discussion here, and then we'll continue again next week. Again, my name is Media Fani. You can catch me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It's Media Fani _Mfuni on all social media platforms. Please continue to subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. And yeah, man, we'll continue giving you the content that you need to talk about things that people are afraid to talk about in most cases. And thanks for the support, and tell your friends to subscribe again. Your last words?
No, I don't have much. I'm just saying, Maurice, thank you for hosting me here today. It was a pleasure to me.
You know, the reason why I selected you as the co-host, I always learn a thing from...
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be.
From having a conversation with you. Every day, like, when we talk, I learn a thing. So that's why I chose you. I know someone's going to be educated through what you say. That's why I chose you.
That's how information is passed from
Thank
one.
you for your time, man.
Thank you, man.